Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the War Zone. This is Buff Gamers Fitness, and I am Coach Osiris. I'm about to give you guys some advice, something for the weekend, talking about cheat days. All right, so cheat meals are what I like to call no holds barred meals, brothers. Enjoy a cheat meal this weekend or two. Um, just enjoy it. It's okay to treat yourself. Just don't just remember cheat meals isn't for every day. It's a treat. So it's not meant for every day. You need those, but you need those days where you're strict, right? Monday through Fridays or whatever 5 days where you're not eating out. You're staying away from junk food like donuts, cakes, chips. Um, Lots of weight happens when eating or drinking too much sugar. So make sure you're eating enough fiber during the week, during the strict days. Also, proteins um, during the strict days. Remember, if you get tired of eating chicken, you also have other sources of protein like turkey, you got steak, we got fish, etc., etc. Different proteins work for different people, right? And chicken and rice, different stuff works for different people. Meal prepping helps many people. Also remember, home cooked meals are usually better than going out. Also, unless you have health concerns, like with salt, it's okay to have salt. But for me, I usually don't add extra salt, but it's perfectly fine unless you do have the health conditions. You obviously don't want to do too much, but unless your doctor advises you not to, you aren't supposed to be eating it. It's okay. If you're exercising regularly, anyways, salt burns off. Like I usually add hot sauce over instead of the table salt for my food, and that's okay. As long as you don't have, like I said, as long as you don't have the health problems, then it's okay. You gotta love the food you're eating. Some sauces you gotta watch out though for, like ketchup and barbecue and like the ranch, etc., etc. Yeah, and you don't want to add too much because you don't want to glaze on ketchup and ranch and stuff like that. Your diet shouldn't be boring. It's got to be something you can stick with majority of the week outside of the cheat meals. Sometimes you're gonna mess up. Sometimes you gotta mess up on your strict days, and that's fine. Just like an exercise, it's not gonna be perfect. Not everything's gonna be perfect day or eating right. Sometimes it won't be perfect. You're gonna have the days like someone's gonna have a birthday or and you don't want to be left out. So you don't want to be the only person not enjoying themselves on that day. Just the key is not overdoing it. You always have the next day so don't stress the next day to be strict again. People sometimes quit after messing up. Don't. All right, just don't. Don't need to wait another month or next year to start all over again. There's literally athletes who eat strict most of the week. They eat strict most of the week and they have a cheat day. And it's nothing for them, right? So you have these NFL Olympians and their body melts it off fast because, and it barely matters because you're not gonna gain all your weight back from one meal. You're not gonna gain 5 pounds from one meal. Just keep moving forward. And like I said before, it's not a cheat meal. I mean, it's not a cheat meal if you're doing it every day. Saying no to certain foods completely, it'll hurt you in the long run. That's why cheat meals are important. This is more for those that are like well into their fitness journey though. If you're new, I'd wait a few months, like 3 to 6 months. If you're new to fitness, Like if your goal is to lose weight, it's better to wait a few weeks or months. Like if you want to drop like 20 or 30 pounds before you start doing cheat meals, you got to know the balance too. Remember, there's a difference between cheat meals and cheat days. You don't want to go like this the weekend, 3 full days of eating anything you want, no holds barred meals. I usually plan a meal, a cheat meal day. Not cheat meal, not cheat day. I plan a cheat meal like ahead for like holidays, birthday parties, football games, whatever, etc., etc. Not everyone's strict meal looks the same. Just remember your protein. Just remember for your strict meals, the proteins, the minerals, the vitamins, brothers, and carbs. People are afraid of carbs. They don't like carbs, but carbs makes protein more efficient. So that's all I have for today, brothers. If you're looking for more tips, tricks, and advice, join the program today. Because I've said so. Just comment below if you're interested in joining or inbox me. So that's all, my friends. Please share this. Cheers, everybody.